What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today it is Sunday. As you can see, I got the hoodie on, so it's chilly again. Fall's hitting really fast here, so we're going to run out of time quickly to do all the projects on this car. So I'm going to be diligent and try to get them done as quick as possible and maximizing my time before the snow. So a couple weeks ago we painted the hood scoop on the Snowpony. Looked beautiful, but however I pulled it out into the regular world outside of the canopy way too quickly, and unfortunately a storm hit that night and it caused a little bit of problems because the paint was still slightly tacky. I'm going to show you what that is here. So as you look at the hood scoop, you see that? That is not just laying on top. That's not something I can just like brush off. A lot of dirt and bugs ended up getting stuck in the paint after I spent all those hours sanding and priming and adhesion promoting and painting, and it looked beautiful and it had a great shine. This is something that some of us that don't have a paint booth or a good garage are going to face. So I'm going to show you how to take care of that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start out with a clay bar, and this is basically an eraser for your paint. It's going to pick up most of the bigger particles, pull them out of the paint, and allow us then to come behind it, and you guessed it, more sanding. We're going to sand it with some 4000 grit, try to get that top layer of clear coat off where all the dirt has settled, and then we're going to come back after that and we're going to rub and compound it, followed by waxing, and we should get a nice beautiful surface with all that dirt gone. So hopefully we can get it done. We got a couple hours before football starts. It's week 1 of football season, and I'm not going to miss the Ravens play. So if this doesn't get done, I don't know. Maybe we'll just burn the car. We'll see. All right, here we go. Step 1. Spray bottle. Nothing but regular water. Get your surface wet because the clay bar is sticky. And the last thing you want to happen is the clay bar just to stick to the surface and not take anything off. Got your normal clay bar. You can pick this up at any auto parts store or paint specialty store. And as you can hear, it sounds like we're sanding. However, we're not. We're just trying to use this clay bar to pick up any dirt that's on top of the surface. And this thing works really well. You got to take your time, go over the surface, and the whole idea of this is keep it wet, keep going until you get all that big stuff out of your clear coat. And there's no real wrong direction you can go with this. You can go north, south, east, or west. Doesn't really matter. But it's not going to be just 1 or 2 swipes and you're done. Realize this is going to take a little bit of time. You got to get all that little dirt out of there. So we're going to continue with this, and then next, yay, more sanding. All right, so clay bar step is done. As you can see, the big chunks are out, but we still have all that speckled damage done in the clear coat. Now that is from a mixture of water and dirt, both settling in the clear coat. And now we got a stupid plane flying over. Thank you for that. Anyway, our next step is wet sanding. You're not going to be aggressive. All you're really doing is just pushing the sandpaper across the surface, letting the weight of the sanding block do the work for you. Again, keep it wet. Don't let it drip all over your car because it'll be a huge mess. So yay, now we get to sand. Okay, so we sanded for, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour. Like I said, with an ultra fine grit like 4000 on a hand sanding block. Kept it nice and wet. And now what you're saying is, well, it didn't work because now the paint looks dull, it looks faded. Well, that's part of the process. We had to cut the top layer down, which was contaminated, and get to a lower layer. And our next step is going to be this, rubbing compound. Rub it on, don't use too much because you got to buff it back off and you'll just kill your arm if you use too much. This is going to cut down a little bit more, try to get a better, smoother surface, get any of the dirt out that we can, And then we're going to come behind and build that shine back up. So let's see if it goes good. Alright, so after the rubbing compound, which the name is fitting of what you're doing. You're rubbing, you're pushing, you're not gouging or digging in, but you're applying it like a wax, but you have to give it some pressure. And you don't let it really haze, you just let it slightly dry, and then you buff it hard. Any smears or dirt, you want to make sure you get all those off. Then you want to come behind and get all that rubbing compound off. It should give you a more even surface. Of course, it'll still look hazy because it's not polished yet. And then your next step is going to be a good cleaner wax like this from Meguiars. This you just put on, let it dry, and then you're going to buff it off. Nothing difficult. Don't put too much on, because then guess what? You got to buff more off. So that's going to be our next step, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so the wax is on. I waited 10 minutes for it to haze. How you know it'll haze is you see that? See how it's dull and opaque versus shiny? That's how you know it's ready to be buffed off. So here we go, buffing it off. Alright guys, waxed on, waxed off just like the Karate Kid, and guess what? You can see the shine right there, and you can see the shine matching on the hood scoop. What's that mean? It means we got all that stupid dirt out of the paint. As you can see, we got a pretty good reflection going on, which means we got a pretty decent surface. It's a far cry from what she was. White and hazed over, rough, felt like sandpaper. Now she's smooth as can be. She's fixed. I mean, as fixed as she can be, considering we did this as an outside paint job, you know, with trees and everything blowing all over it. She's obviously not a show car. We beat on her daily. So, thumbs up this video. It'll teach you a lot. Subscribe to the channel. Alerts or die. Have a great day, guys.